Hello everybody, hope you're all having a great time. Here we have a 12 spell space swag. This is the strongest strat in the game. No other strat will allow you to swag this many spells. Here we have another 12 spell space swag. And it's really fun because it's like a game within the game. How many spells can you swag? Here we have a full 14 spell space swag. You can't swag any more spells in this. Plus a Warden Eternal Tome ability swag. Here we have a small 8 spell space swag, but we'll get that up in the following replay. Here we have a 13 spell space swag, so one short from everything swagged. And this is an eternal AQ charge. We are going to have 2 levels of protection for our AQ. We're going to have the AQ ability, which has Magic Mirror, Giant, and we will also have our second level of protection, which will be the Warden Eternal Tome. And quite powerful, especially if you can Eternal Tome all 3 of your queens, the 2 cloned and the 1 main queen. So, as always, we're going to create a plan to optimize our Flame Flinger value and our AQ charge value. So, we're setting a funnel at the right side with our Warden, and we're using some rocket loons to set up our Flame Flinger at 12. Notice this multi-gear tower down. Now we can take out this ricochet cannon, take out the multi-arch tower, potentially get 2 ricochet cannons and that flame spinner. We got the Warden over here at the right corner, and he's going to eliminate this multi-inferno tower that we would not be able to reach with our Archer Queen to protect our healers. Using our funneling troops, a Yeti, to create a nice little funnel down here at 6, because we want our Archer Queen to pull the Warden all the way down towards this Town Hall compartment, break in with the King, and that way we can break open these walls into the core and just completely hero charge this entire thing. Multi-Inferno goes down, sending in some Ice Golems, and the Ice Golems are to stall up these enemy heroes, because what we want to do is preserve our own hero abilities until we enter the core of the base. So notice, sending in more of these Ice Golems, using Headhunters to eliminate these heroes, because we want the BK to get as close to these interior walls as possible so that he can open up the core for our Archer Queen and our Warden. So notice, Fire Spitters, trying to roast our AQ, trying to roast our Warden, and most damagingly, trying to roast our healers. Luckily, they're off to the side, so we had to go ahead and use the Eternal Tome and the Archer Queen ability just to keep our AQ and our Warden alive going into them. This is why you often always want to go in from behind your Fire Spitters. However, I chose to go in from the Town Hall compartment on this base so we could eliminate the Town Hall right away, get rid of that Giga Poison, and we could also eliminate all the enemy heroes so our RC wouldn't have to deal with these enemy heroes later. Notice all of the destruction our Flame Flinger did at the top has completely created a nice little narrow path for our RC to go right into the core of this base, to the last remaining high damage area of this base. So dropping in 1 skeleton spell, distracting this monolith, in from behind the Fire Spitters. Notice how the RC is still completely healthy and the Fox is still healthy in from behind the Fire Spitter. And that's the advantage of coming in from behind the Fire Spitter. So the RC in from behind the Fire Spitter was able to eliminate all those defenses just with the 1 skeleton spell. So base identification, and then we just go ahead, swag 12 spells. And I invented this strategy because I am very bored of Clash of Clans, and I wanted something to bring some life back to the game. So I figured, let's make a strategy that you can swag all of your spells. So it's almost like a little game, every attack, see how many spells you can swag. However, if you want to go straight for 3 stars, just go ahead, invest a rage early on your Warden, invest a rage on your Archer Queen Warden charge, and then invest a rage when you go to the Warden ability and the AQ ability. Put a rage on top of your cloned AQs. So here we go. Flame Flinger again to get a bunch of value. We got the Warden creating a funnel over here at the right side again. And every time I approach a base, I immediately look for Flame Flinger value, and I immediately look for creating a funnel with the Warden and trying to get in from behind the Fire Spitters. Notice this Fire Spitter up from 6. That Fire Spitter is facing towards the Town Hall. So I'm creating a funnel with the Warden over here at 3, and then I will drop the AQ in from right next to the Warden, and then pull the Warden down here to this compartment that I am creating a funnel for. And notice 1 archer on that mortar. If you drop an archer close enough to the mortar, you can pick it off without having to use 2 rocket loons or a Yeti. So need, again, this multi-inferno to go down, so when the AQ pulls the Warden, the AQ wouldn't be pulling the healers right past that multi-inferno and having all of the healers die. So now everything is lined up, everything's set up, and that is the one tricky thing with this attack strategy, is just the planning and the patience. Go ahead, take a minute with your setup. So now I got the BK going in, and I want the BK to get into this compartment deep enough, and I want him to still have his ability intact for when he gets hooked. So that was planned as well. So BK, if you ever see a hook, try to get your BK hooked, because he will open up all the walls and damage or destroy a lot of valuable defenses around the hook. So notice now our AQ has access to this entire core of the base. She can even make her way all the way to the town hall. So now sending in the RC again, similar as what we did with the last one. The Flame Flinger created a nice path for the RC. And notice these ice golems. The ice golems just come in to distract defenses for our heroes. This is a giant hero charge. It is an AQ charge powered by the Warden Rage Vial or Rage Gem with the Eternal Tome as a level of protection, using some rocket loons to direct target this multi-gear tower. And notice that's another use for these rocket loons. If you don't need to set up a path with them, you can save them for emergency situations as that one. And now we just had to drop one rage spell to avoid time failing, otherwise we could have swagged all 14 spells again. So when you approach a base, you look for Flame Flinger value and you look for Fire Spitters, because you always want to come in from behind Fire Spitters. Notice the Fire Spitters highlighted. Again, want to come in from behind the Fire Spitters. And while you're setting up your Flame Flinger, go ahead, set your Warden down, let your Warden get some buildings destroyed and create some pathing for your AQ, because your AQ cannot jump over walls, unlike the Warden. So Warden, his job is to eliminate this scatter shot over here at 3, because the AQ would not be able to reach that from the wall. Got the Flame Flinger down here, going to deal with this Ricochet Cannon and this Multi-Archer Tower. Ricochet Cannons are highly valuable defenses to remove with a Flame Flinger. Test for some traps with some barbs, just being patient with this Warden. Got some archers up here at 12 to create more of a funnel. So now going to pull the Warden with the AQ, and now we have our Eternal AQ charge powered by the Warden Rage Gem, free infinite rage spells. So using a wall breaker, because we're going to have to send our king in from 12, and we need an ice golem to distract this Ricochet Cannon, because a Ricochet Cannon, if not distracted by an ice golem, it will shoot your AQ and the second shot will hit your Warden. Your Warden has just over half the hit points of your Archer Queen, so the Warden will go down and waste an ability, or you will have to drop a spell to save your Warden. And we're trying to swag as many spells as possible. So use the ice golems to preserve your hero abilities for further into the attack. Notice the BK was not able to get hooked this time. First, I guess, because I did manage to get him hooked right here. So now the BK opens up the entire core again, and we have all of our Archer Queens. They're alive and well. And once you use your AQ ability, check your main queen. And if your main queen, not the clone queens, is still healthy, then you don't have to use the Warden Eternal Tome ability. So notice, able to use no Eternal Tome ability right here. The Archer Queen ability was enough. And this is the brilliance of these 2 levels of protection. So now, using the RC Rocket Spear to outrange some of these defenses, notice in from behind the Fire Spitters, making them completely useless so that we can swag 14 spells and Warden Eternal Tome ability. Then we just drop in our spells, and I like to call this attack strategy Smiley Swag Killer, because the goal of the attack is to swag as many spells as possible, as I've said before, and I always drop a nice big smiley face. So, identifying where the hook is. Every time you see a hook, you want to plan on your BK getting hooked so that you can use the EQ boots in the core of the base and the spiky ball to just eliminate a lot of walls, give access to the entire base to your Archer Queen. So notice this Town Hall over here at 3. On this one, I'm going to go ahead and use all 3 rages on this Warden charge right off the bat, because I'm going to use the rages with that Warden to power the Warden to the Town Hall. Going to eliminate the Town Hall with the Warden and then send the BK in from the top right to meet up with the Archer Queen and the Warden, get hooked by the hook, and then open up the entire core for the AQ powered by the Warden Rage Gem. So here we go, first rage, just speeding up this Warden. And if we didn't have a time limit, we could have just let the Warden sit here for 3 minutes alone, eliminating this Town Hall. However, we only have 3 minutes, so going ahead and dropping some rages. So Warden's powering through. And here's another thing that you can do with these rocket loons is help soften up some defenses or fully eliminate some defenses so that your Warden will path to where you want him to go. Sneaking in some headhunters. Now we got the enemy clan castle coming out. It happens to be a baby drag. Kind of unlucky, but better than a furnace. So finally, this Town Hall is about to go down. And notice we use some archers up at 12 to fully eliminate all those trash buildings. And that's what the archers are for. You're always trying to get yourself free buildings. Warden moved too far to the bottom, wanted him to follow the AQ. However, this is just fine. We'll just have to pay attention to the Warden. BK managed to get hooked. Use his ability in the right spot. Sending in some rocket loons just to help stall up this multi-gear tower for the Warden. Happens to kill perfect amount of rocket loons. You need 3 rocket loons to kill a multi-gear tower. And now the AQ has access to this entire top section. And since the AQ isn't benefiting from the Warden Rage Gem, we are going to send our RC in front of our Warden to benefit from this Rage Gem. And notice we have the EQ boots, or the electric boots, on the RC. So she will eliminate all the skeleton traps, anything that could potentially slow her up. Notice the ice golems, they're just there to stall up defenses for the RC. Ice golems really don't do any damage themselves, they're just there to eliminate all of the multi-targeting defenses that have kind of plagued technical strats at Town Hall 17. And then go ahead and swag 8 spells. Alright, so here, kind of looks like a little bit of a weaker base. Must have been on my mini. So dropping in an Ice Golem to distract the enemy AQ, and then sending in 2 headhunters to eliminate the AQ, and now we have opened up this entire section for our Flame Flinger. We have our Warden, while that was happening, getting a bunch of value up here at 12. Warden's job is to eliminate this 12 o'clock compartment, and we are creating a funnel over here at the left corner so that we can meet up our BK with our AQ and Warden that will be coming from 12 down to the Town Hall compartment. So need this ricochet cannon to go down. Use some rocket loons to help keep that Warden healthy. Now sending in another ice golem just to help protect the BK, because remember, we want the BK to have his ability when he enters into the core of this base, because we want his EQ boots to be able to open up the core for our AQ. So right now we are having a little bit of an issue because the BK is stalled up on the enemy BK and he's getting low on health. So we use an invis to force him in towards this Town Hall. And now we're just waiting, being patient, hoping this BK steps up. Waiting. He's close to the walls. Go ahead, use his ability, and now this entire core section is opened up for our AQ powered Rage Gem powered AQ charge. And now we send in our RC to the side, and that is something that you will always do with this attack strategy. You will have your AQ tanking in the core, and then you send your RC to clean up some of these defenses that are being tanked by the AQ in the core, and the defenses that aren't being tanked by the AQ, you just send in an Ice Golem to distract them for your RC. So it is an AQ charge with a parallel Spirit Walk. And notice everything in the core. Go ahead, use the RC Rocket Spear ability, trying to eliminate this monolith. Ice Golem freezes up this multi-archer tower, And the best thing about using these ice golems is they stop all of the multiple shots. So this will protect your Spirit Fox to keep your RC working through the base longer. Tried to zoom in and pick off that mortar. And now we have the RC coming up to this ricochet cannon, about to die. We could have prevented this, but we want to swag as many spells as possible. And that is why this attack strategy is called Smiley Swag Killer, because it is a killer of boredom, because it is a game within a game, and you get to see how many spells you can swag. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you guys next time, and make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye.